Is the one thing that the average fan who might watch it 3 times a year doesn't know that goes into this on a day-to-day basis?
Every day, probably 8 to 10 people might come in contact with one horse, with between the trainer, the groom, the hot walker, the exercise rider, the pony boy. There's a lot more involved than, just running a race in the afternoon.
Now on the inside, Omaha Omaha, who's been asked to run pretty much the entire trip, is starting to run on Omaha Omaha.
When did
Splitting
you first identify this horse as being one that might be able to develop well enough to get to this point?
After he had run a couple of races, he really wants to run a long distance. He was never going to be a real short distance horse. And usually with the 2 year olds, you start out, 5 or 6 furlongs and then kind of work up to long. And we started him out right in his long races because that's what he just wanted to do. So it took a couple races before he really got in the groove, and then he won it, broke his maiden, and then he won a big race at Laurel Park, and he advanced into the stake category and had a good second and third in a couple different stakes.
Omaha Omaha.
It's pretty cool to come to the Mid Atlantic, where usually all the big races are all at the big racetracks. The all the Derby Point races are at the big racetracks. So to have it at Colonial Downs, it's a big deal. It's 50 points towards the entry to the Kentucky Derby, and usually the winner with 50 points probably would be enough points to make it into the Kentucky Derby.
How do you like his chances?
He's not the best workhorse when he works by himself. He likes competition. He's worked well in his races. The further he works, the better he goes. He's just that closing type of horse. He wants to lag back early in a race and then finish strong.
You will this. I don't know if you'll consider it a home race for him, but you will have a lot of support just because of that connection.
Yeah, I think it's a cool story that he is a Virginia-bred. And in the past, there's been great Virginia-bred. Secretariat was a Virginia-bred, so it's not out of the question to get to Kentucky.